Hey folks, this is Ted Cantu coming at you with the Miracle Mindshift. And I'm in my studio today, The Win, and we got some really interesting things to talk about. I'm just going to go ahead and roll it out. I don't even have a show written for you. I don't even know what day it is. I just know it's over 1:15. And I got some miracles to share with you. I'm a little ticked off. So before I go into the whole rant, I'm going to see if I can keep this as polite as possible. Because why drag you through the mud and tell you all the nonsense I had to deal with in the last few days? Before I even start, I didn't want to start with that. All right, so let me tell you what happened. All right, so a couple of years ago, we had this COVID scare, and I was living with my family, and we got some senior family members, and I was told either I get the shot or I go on the street. Our president shut the whole country down. Our governor did too. I live in Michigan temporarily, and I had to deal with this nonsense. And so, like a good shepherd, I took the shot 3 times, and then all the problems started. I couldn't walk. I had a problem with my right leg, and I couldn't. I had a limp, and I was told that this is my fault. Is what they told me. Amputation. Wow, there's a nice word. Amputation might be in order. And I said, no, I'm not doing any of that stuff because I didn't create this problem. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Luckily for me, I met a health practitioner who was really into holistic healing, and she had this chicken broth stuff that was made from chicken bones and chicken feet, right? And I took it, and it was pulling heavy metals out of my body. Now, for all the alternative health people out there, before I get all your hate mail, let me just tell you, I'm leaving a lot of stuff out, but this is part of the protocol that I was under, and it would pull heavy metals out of my body. Okay, it worked. I just happened to meet these great people at the right time. And I do believe that because I had a certain kind of frequency that was connecting to higher energy people. And luckily for me, I kept the faith and I was able to worm my way out of it. And I literally had to walk between the raindrops. So I was very fortunate in that regard. So that led to getting involved with superfoods, which is chlorella and spirulina. And we talk about some of this stuff on the earlier episodes of the Miracle Mindshift, back around day 89, I think it was. And it was about brain health and brain chemistry, right? So this enabled me to walk again like a normal functioning person. That's part one. Part two was I met another health practitioner who deals with cancer cells and this kind of stuff. And here's what she told me about that was that I had to pull out the heavy metals out of my body, which is a very positive thing to do. Heavy metals, including mercury, cadmium, lead, plastics, and herbicides. Wow. And she's one of these people that believes in cross-contamination with chemtrails and stuff. I don't know if I want to go that far into it because I don't know what that is. But I had a lot of yo-yos in my circle at one time who swore up and down this is what was happening. I don't know. I have no idea what that was. I just know that you can get metals anywhere from the kind of foods that you eat, from gasoline fumes, exhaust fumes in the air, gets filtrated through your lungs, and also from the water that you drink from, let's say, the public water system, or if you also jump into pools, right, or hot tubs or whatever, you absorb all this water and lead and stuff. So you should be always on the lookout to constantly clean your body from metals because it does affect your mitochondria. Wow, you're like, well, what the hell is this guy talking about? All right, I'm talking about cleaning yourself out on a cellular level. And when you do that, your frequency changes, you're receptive to higher frequencies and like-minded individuals who can help you in all areas of life. Keeping yourself clean. You got three bodies: the mind, body, spirit principle. The physical body, right? The one that absorbs all the metals. The spiritual body, which connects you to God, and your electric body and your field, that you attract all kinds of negative and positive vibrations from people, or you hold on to resentments and that sort of thing, or arguments, and it just weighs you down. Okay, so you got all of that stuff going on at the same time. Ah, before I go into my whole rant of what I'm so ticked off about, let me just tell you who I am first. I am Ted Cantu, the creator of The Win. I am also the author of the 30 Total Business Day Makeover and the Miracle Mindshift is what you're watching right here. And I just want to welcome you to the program. And we're talking about mind, body, spirit things today. And so, okay, so let me go back to this doctor I met, this alternative health practitioner. Doctor's a little shorter, but she's not really a doctor. She's just somebody who's aware. So I was shown this sheet of ailments that you get when you take the shot, and it was about 500 things on there. And I was informed that there's heart problems, kidney problems, there's all kinds of different organ failures, and mental health stuff. And also there was things on there that things that spike your proteins to a dangerous level, and also there's elements in there that turbos the cancer, which is pretty horrible, actually. Um, but that's not what I was really pissed off about. The thing was, it was about I she was like looking for an apology because now I had to buy all these remedies that did not exist 3 or 4 years ago. I had to buy these remedies to cure all these problems that they injected me with. So they sold the problem. Now they wanted to charge me for the cure. And I was not going to do any of that. I was not going to buy any of this stuff. And I'm certainly not going to fucking apologize to anybody because I didn't do anything. And I'm going to get out of it the natural way. I'm going to get out of it. That's it. That's the whole show. You can turn this off now if you want, because that's my stance. So I got some examples over here on some juicing and stuff that we've done in the past. And I can also tell you that on a molecular atomic level, that you can eliminate all of these problems on a cellular condition, fix your mitochondria, which is the first lining on your cell defense, and block future ailments. I mean, it's unbelievable. So then I was told, well, I said, well, how do you want to die? I said, well, basically, I kind of envision it kind of like the people I talk about, like the juice man, Jay Cordich. There's Paul Bragg, who did Bragg's apple cider vinegar. And then there was Jack LaLanne, who did the juicing program. All these guys died disease free. And then I was informed, well, this is a modern world now. That stuff doesn't work anymore, which is totally absurd. So, in other words, the only way you're going to survive all this nonsense is to take more chemicals. And I totally disagree with that. So we got into a huge fight and I walked out. I said, I don't need any more of this stuff. I know what to do. I know how to get well. And I went my own way. And as a result of taking superfoods, yeah, chlorella, in the powdered form, spirulina, any kind of vitamins I can get in a liquid form, magnesium, and trace minerals. I'm walking today. That's my miracle. I got other things that are happening too in business, but I'm going to keep it simple for today. I got out of it. And I tell you what, when I went to the doctors to tell them I had perfect blood sugar, they gave me blood meters, these sugar meters or whatever you want to call them. They were 40 points off, which is illegal. I had like 2 or 3 times this happened to me. And they would not let me do a reading in the office, which I would think would be pretty illegal too. I said, let's see how this works out together. Let's do this together so you can see how far your meters are off. You need to look at the numbers before you start prescribing me on all this garbage that I don't need. And they wouldn't do it. So I threw the meters in the garbage. I had an accident where I had to go to the hospital and they had to check my blood work, and it turned out it was perfect. So here's my message to you. Honestly, honestly, you're being scammed on many levels. And there's a reason why I don't have a server tray this big full of pills Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't have that for the whole month because I don't need it. And I got cleaned out. And also I had varicose veins in my ankles. Those are gone now. That's it. That's all you need to know. There's a lot to this. But when you talk about vibrations too on a subconscious level, you are going to connect to higher frequencies and doors are going to open and you're going to have amazing new prospects in front of you. It's a whole new life. And maybe you believe that, maybe you don't. There was a time in my life when I didn't believe that because my life was up and down. It was a roller coaster. And if you remember, on my birthday, October 15th, on the last show, of the first show, if you start watching the Miracle Mindshift, I said either all of these metaphysical things that I'm reading about from banned books from 1909 and 1800s, either it's all fake or I'm going to have the largest metaphysical yard sale in history. I'm going to sell all my stuff because I'm tripping over it. I got books everywhere. So I put all those books in one bookshelf so I had them in one spot. Okay. And I would refer to them as I did these episodes. And it turns out that a lot of them are true. Quite a few of them are very fluffy, feel good books, you know. And let me tell you about that too. When you get a book about self help and one whole chapter is devoted to Tony Robbins, like, oh, here's the day I met Tony Robbins, yay. And it goes, and it's like a whole chapter, throw the book out, get the real stuff. Because I tell you what, as much as I love these modern day guys, they don't go deep enough into the subconscious. And that's what the problem, a lot of your problems are right here. The way you're programmed, the way you think, the way you recall, it's got to get cleaned out. And I don't mean paying access bars $150 an hour to do it on your behalf. I'm talking about doing it yourself through self hypnosis, and you can do it with self hypnosis. People say you can't. I I tell you, I have done this. And how do I know? Because my light body was visible. Hello, right during my meditation, I could see my hands. I could see right through them. And I look back and I'm laying down. I'm laying down, on a bed. I could see my body, just like in access bars. And I woke up, my brain hurt a lot, like I was in a hangover or something. And I had to get some Coca-Cola to balance out my brain on the sodium level and the sugar level, just like if I was hungover. I mean, it's crazy. Or, like I had gone through this access bars ritual. The human body is amazing. It's resilient. But you got to start thinking about mind, body, and spirit if you want to get yourself cleaned out and out of your junk. And on top of that, I would even say change your collective consciousness of, you know, the crowd you hang out with can deeply influence your outcomes. Low consciousness people, whiners, complainers, chronic naggers, just negative thinking people need to be swapped out. You need to connect yourself to higher frequencies. I get a lot of flack on that one. But I tell you what, it makes a huge difference. If you like waking up in fear every day, and some people do, they're addicted to their own problems. That's not something I like to do. I want to get a clean flush and get rid of all my junk, mental junk and everything else. So you're gonna lose friends over it, but you'll feel honest and you'll be able to move on with your life in a very positive way. All right. Um, the business stuff I'm not even going to get into today because it's just too much. But there's a lot of great things taken off in that area. I will say one thing though, talking about collective consciousness. I get a lot of emails from people, a lot of sales offers, and my phone rings off the hook from gurus, right? Gurus that want to sell me stuff. All right, so this is something that one guy sold me. I'm not going to tell you his name, but he told me that within 8 weeks, his company jumped up to 9 figures. Okay, 7 figures is a million plus, and I get that all the time from people. But this particular guy is interesting to me because he's telling me he's getting 9 figure numbers in his business in the last 8 weeks, which is total nonsense. And how do I know? Is because on his ads, nobody clicks on them. I can see where people are clicking and they're not clicking on his stuff. And if they are clicking, they're like everyday people. They're tire kickers. They're not like real people. They're just, curious. But these are bold claims to make. And usually in January and February, there's about 3 other guys that you don't hear from. You're not going to hear from them for the rest of the year after March. But they always pop up in January, February, and March, maybe, and they'll disappear. And these guys are back telling you that they're, millionaire makers and all this stuff. And golly, man, I get so sick and tired of this stuff. It's too much to ask to be honest. It's too much. That's too big of a task to ask people to be totally gut honest with you. All right, that's the show. I'm done for now. I'm walking. That's the most important thing. But I did it the right way. I didn't do it through fear. I didn't do it through intimidation. And I'm not going to apologize to anybody for not taking your manufactured cure stuff. And I'll be walking next week. I'll be walking next month too. And I'll be walking next year. That's just the way it is. I'm Ted Cantu. This is The Win. Thanks for watching. Next show will be much more interesting. I'll show some business things that I'm working on, and we're going to blow the roof off. We're going to end this series on an up note because from where we started, it was pretty dismal. And the future episodes, like I mentioned in the past, will be mostly about book authors, people that are related in the mind consciousness field, and I'll be interviewing people. So, but we're coming really close. I want to thank you for watching. If you need to get a hold of me to straighten some things out about your own personal life in mind, body, and spirit, give us a call at 248-277-6141. You can always call me, write me at tedcantu@gmail.com. And you can find me online at tedcantu.com. So I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you online.